Midnight security footage flickers to life. A red-haired 6-year-old hops down a motel corridor, laughing at a private joke only his mother knows. 48 hours later, he will disappear without trace. A church hallway miles away shows a figure in SWAT gear tapping walls, waiting to strike. A desperate voicemail bounces off satellite phones somewhere in the Caribbean. 5 stories, 5 vanishing points, 1 question. When the evidence runs cold, does the truth freeze with it? You're watching RedX Shocking Mysteries. We peel back the tape, sift the files, and chase the echo of every unanswered scream. Subscribe, hit the bell, and step into the dark, because the truth refuses to stay buried for those who dare. Tonight, we unravel 5 of America's most bewildering cold cases, each linked by a single theme, a lone decision made in the space of a heartbeat, and a life erased as if by sleight of hand. Our headliner is the disappearance of 6-year-old Timothy Pitson, spirited away by his own mother after a joy-filled road trip in 2011. Around that tragedy orbit 4 more enigmas: a Texas fitness instructor ambushed by a phantom in tactical armor, an Arizona teenager who said she felt watched, then vanished, a college graduate who stepped off a cruise ship into legend, and an intrepid desert hiker who hunted a cave no one else could find. We'll trace timelines, interrogate evidence, and ask the experts why, after all these years, the files still sit open. Ready? Let's begin. Timothy James Pitson came into the world on October 18, 2004, in Aurora, Illinois, with hair the color of burnished copper and a grin that made strangers smile back. He was the only child of Jim and Amy Pitson, and from the moment he could walk, he was in motion, racing matchbox cars across the coffee table, building blanket forts, begging to ride the zoo train one more time. Teachers described him as sunlight in sneakers. His dad called him Tim Tim. His mom called him my buddy. Friends say the marriage looked sturdy from the outside, yet below the surface, Amy wrestled private storms of depression and restlessness. By spring 2011, those storms were gaining strength. Jim noticed she drove aimlessly after work, once returning long after dark with no explanation. Still, no one imagined she might harm their son. Wednesday, May 11, Amy parks her Ford Expedition outside kindergarten. She tells the office there's a family emergency. Timothy is released from art class, crayons still in hand. Together, they drive west. Over the next 72 hours, Amy creates what investigators later call a farewell tour of fun. They ride the Brookfield Zoo tram, splash at Key Lime Cove, and close down the arcade at Wisconsin Dells. Receipts, toll data, and lobby cameras form a near-perfect breadcrumb trail. And everywhere he appears, Timothy is radiant, waving at strangers, never looking distressed. Behind the smiles, a darker pattern emerges. Amy blocks Jim's calls. When he finally reaches her, she sounds chipper but refuses to pass the phone. Late on May 12, she stops at a Winnebago hardware store, buying a notepad, pens, and a small roll of duct tape, odd items for a holiday. Friday the 13th, 1:30 p.m., Amy checks into the Rockford Inn alone. Timothy is not captured on video. A motorist later reports seeing a red-haired boy near the parking lot. The sighting remains unconfirmed. Early next morning, Amy's USV turns down a gravel farm road bordering thick cornfields. She is gone 21 minutes. Housekeeping enters room 108 at 12:30 p.m., May 14. Amy lies on the bed, wrists slashed, a lethal dose of antihistamines. In her purse, investigators find only her license and Timothy's birth certificate. Forensics sweep the expedition. 2 small blood spots under the rear carpet match Timothy. Trace volume consistent with a nosebleed. Pollen on the chassis indicates recent travel along ravines in Lee and Whiteside counties. Cadaver dogs hit on a creek bank but lose the trail where spring floods erased scent. With Amy dead, detectives hunt anyone who might have helped or hurt Timothy. Jim Pitson passes polygraphs. Cell records show no secret calls. Amy's wiped laptop yields searches for anonymous child surrender and safe haven age limit. Yet Timothy was 6, too old for that law. A daycare friend recalls Amy speaking of a licensed woman who could place children with loving families, but no such facilitator surfaces. 2 hypotheses remain. 1, Amy handed Timothy to underground adoption sympathizers, believing it an act of mercy. 2, she killed him and crafted a cruel riddle to soften the blow. Supporters of life note the joyful road trip footage and lack of large blood. Supporters of death point to her worsening mental state and that chilling line, "You will never find him." In 2019, hope flares. A gaunt young man in Kentucky claims to be Timothy. DNA shatters the illusion. He is a troubled drifter. Today, Jim Pitson still bakes a birthday cake each October, 1 slice saved for a son who would now be 20. Terry Missy Beavers greeted dawn the way other people greet coffee. At 45, the mother of 3 had rebuilt life through fitness, leading Camp Gladiator boot camps. Students nicknamed her Coach Sunshine. Monday, April 18, 2016, Missy rose at 3:30 a.m., loaded weights, and drove through a thunderstorm to Creekside Church of Christ. 3:49 a.m., church security shows a figure entering through smashed glass. Dressed head to toe in black SWAT armor, they wander hallways, opening closets, tapping walls, swinging a pry bar like a golfer. Analysts note a limp and outward turned right foot. 4:16 a.m., Missy arrives, disarms the alarm, and likely crosses paths with the intruder in a camera-blind hallway. The only audio, 3 metallic clangs. At 5:04, campers find her on the floor, skull fractured, chest punctured. A bloody mammer lies nearby. Detectives recover 1 degraded male skin cell on a glove scrap, insufficient for genetic genealogy. Missy's iPad holds a LinkedIn message, "I've been watching you." Her husband Brandon is 600 miles away, alibi rock solid. Ex-boyfriends, jealous trainers, and church members, all questioned, none charged. The armor puzzles experts. Some say it's a cheap costume reinforced with steel. Others genuine surplus selected to mislead. Was it a stalker's fantasy, a murder for hire, or rage masked as robbery? The killer's calm pacing hints familiarity with the building, except for that limp, which internet sleuths match to half the town without success. 8 years, 23 search warrants, and a $150,000 reward have yet to unmask the phantom. Each April, Missy's daughters chalk hearts on the church sidewalk, waiting for the day the right pair of boots walks into confession. Phoenix, May 17, 2001. The final school bell rings. 17-year-old Alyssa Turney, witty, artistic, and fiercely protective of little sister Sarah, should be celebrating summer. Instead, she will leave campus once, forever. Stepfather Michael Turney, ex-deputy and strict guardian, picks her up at lunch. He says they argue, grab fast food, and she writes a note, "Ran away to California, don't look for me." Her phone, purse, and $1,800 savings remain at home. For years, police label her runaway. In 2008, the FBI raids Michael's house, seizing 19 pipe bombs and 1,200 cassette recordings he claims prove a union worker conspiracy. The tape from Alyssa's disappearance window is mysteriously missing. Sarah's social media crusade forces a 2020 murder charge, citing Michael's obsessive control and jailhouse boasts. 2023 trial ends in acquittal, zero physical evidence. Michael now sues for wrongful arrest. Could Alyssa have fled abuse and vanished on her own? She has never accessed her social security number. A Phoenix billboard funded by Sarah reads, "Father knows where she is."
The desert sun continues to bleach the letters. March 21, 1998. Amy Lynn Bradley boards Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas with her family. 23, athletic, wary of open water, yet eager for new horizons. Night 2, she dances with the ship's band. Photos show her smiling beside a drummer nicknamed Yellow. 5:30 a.m. March 24, Father Ron wakes, sees Amy's balcony chair facing sunrise, dozes. 10 minutes later, chair empty, daughter gone. Ship allows passengers ashore before a full search. When crew finally comb galleries, every photo of Amy has vanished. Witnesses soon report sightings: a taxi driver on Curaçao, a sailor in a Caribbean brothel where a woman begs, "My name is Amy." A 2005 adult site image shows a woman called Jazz with identical tattoos: gecko on navel, Tasmanian devil on shoulder. Human trafficking experts note late 1990s cruise security gaps and rogue ports. The steel drum musician is questioned and cleared. No ransom call ever made. If swept into trafficking, Amy may still be alive, her identity erased. Ron says, "Every wave I hear at night, I wonder if it's carrying my daughter home." The Mojave Desert, endless dust, endless dare. Kenneth Kenny Veach, 46, YouTube handle SnakeBitMajee, hunted its abandoned mine solo, armed with a pistol and curiosity. In 2014, he comments about an M-shaped cave near Nellis Air Force Base. "My whole body vibrated, not going back without my gun." Viewers urge him to return. November 10, he texts girlfriend Sherion he'll be home by nightfall, then disappears. Searchers find his Mazda, then his cell phone, battery removed, near an open mine shaft. No footprints past that point. Freezing nights, steep crevices, and coyotes complicate recovery. Theories split: secret military tech emitting infrasound, staged disappearance to start anew, suicide after hinted depression. A 2005 adult site image shows a woman called Jazz with identical tattoos: gecko on navel, Tasmanian devil on shoulder. A 2018 burglary at Sherion's Reiki studio shows a thin intruder. Forums swear it's Kenny, police disagree. Until someone locates the elusive M Cave, or Kenny himself, the desert keeps its compass to his bones or his secret. 5 cases, 5 exits from the maps we trust. Timothy's last smile, Missy's final workout, Alyssa's unwritten senior year, Amy's vanishing wave, and Kenny's echo in stone each leaves evidence that whispers but never shouts. What threads bind these puzzles? Isolation, a decisive moment, and the vast gray zone where law, love, and chance collide. Technology sharpens, yet the simplest clues, blood traces, boot prints, balcony chairs, still lie unanswered. Somewhere, a witness scrolls this video, holding the missing piece in a memory pocket. If that's you, make the call. the next minute could thaw 13 years frozen. If tonight's stories rattled your door latch, press like, subscribe, and punch that notification bell so you never miss our weekly descent into the unknown. Drop your theories in the comments. Keep it respectful. Real families read here. Tip line links for every case sit below. Huge thanks to our expert consultants and to you, the armchair detectives, powering new leads with every share. Next week on RedX Shocking Mysteries, the vanished colony of Monkey Island. Did they sail away or sink beneath the marsh?